June 6, 1944. It is now June 6, 2023. It's been a long period of time. Most of my dad's life. My dad was born in 1941 in September, so several months before the war started. Now, we did not really, in essence, start fighting the Germans until we invaded Africa. Operation Torch landed United States soldiers in Africa by Tunisia, which used to be Carthage, for those of you who know your Roman history. And the Americans entered the conflict fighting the Germans, who at that point were very experienced, who had been fighting under Erwin Rommel and fighting General Montgomery and the Eighth Army in Africa for 2 years. And it took a while for the United States to get itself going. We got our rear ends kicked at the Battle of Kasserine Pass. We were not prepared for the conflict. The Germans had been fighting for 3 years, and it was our first combat, and we got our asses kicked. But we learned our lessons, and we got Patton involved. And boy, did the Nazis regret that. We then invaded the island of Sicily. We then invaded the island of Italy. And then in December of 1943, the plans began to get organized completely. It had been going on for a period of time under Dwight Eisenhower, but they were originally going to be for May and then June. May had terrible weather as well. No, sorry, May had great weather, and they go in June when there was awful weather. And part of the reason why the invasion works is because the weather was so awful. The Germans were convinced that they would never attack unless it was under optimum conditions, and they wanted a night without a moon so that the jumpers would have every advantage, so they wouldn't be silhouetted against the light as they fell from the sky. Thousands of men and women were involved in that invasion. It took the entire nation. And again, within a short period of time, we invaded southern France as well. So we were pushing from the west and from the south in France into Germany. At the same time, the Soviet Union had entered into Poland and Romania and Hungary and was pushing west into Germany. December 6th is 11 months before the Germans surrender. I think they surrender on May 7th of 1945. So it really isn't that long.